Our Heavenly Father, creator and sustainer of the universe, the heaven and the earth. That sit high and look low. You have dominion over everything, Heavenly Father. Sometimes we may think that he don't have dominion, Heavenly Father. We look at how the world is and we say, sometimes we ask if they're God. But he still has dominion over it. He gives us the free spirit, Heavenly Father. And sometimes our sin causes troubles and tribulation. But he is still God. And if you ask him, Heavenly Father, he will walk you through this. He will walk you through your troubles. He will walk you through your tribulation. He'll hold your hand. And that's what I like about Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this waking us up this morning, Heavenly Father. It's opening our eyes to a new day. Most of us have the use of our limbs, Heavenly Father. We can talk, we can see. And sometimes we take those blessings for granted, Heavenly Father. But while I've been going to the doctors and hospital, I realize that every time I go, there's always somebody else in worse shape than myself. And I have to raise my hand to the Lord and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to pray for all of us, Heavenly Father, that we're coming to this house, Heavenly Father. We're going to praise your name. We're going to lift up our hands, Heavenly Father, magnify your name. That's why we're here today. I want to pray for Heavenly Father for those that may be sick among us, Heavenly Father, whether it be spiritual or physical, Heavenly Father. You know their problem, Heavenly Father. You know their names, Heavenly Father. I just want to pray for them, Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father. Beyond me, I pray for the pastor, Heavenly Father, that he brings a message, Heavenly Father. That we can eat on and chew on for all week until we come back next week. Get some more, Heavenly Father. His Son will lift our spirit. Let us have ears, Heavenly Father, to hear. Let our mind be focused on what the Lord said. And we will be blessed. I'm going to pray for those outside these walls, Heavenly Father. We know that it's these young children that get this virus, Heavenly Father. We're going to pray for those, Heavenly Father. It seems like it was the old folk time earlier when the young people had. But you're still God, Heavenly Father. You got everything in your hand. You can take care of Heavenly Father. Those of us that have problems and still down, Heavenly Father, we should hold our hand. Just walk with us. Just hold our hand and walk with us, Heavenly Father. Because we know no other God that can do it for us. And we trusted in you. Have mercy on us, Heavenly Father. Have mercy on this church. Bless this church in spirit and in knowledge. This is my prayer in Christ. Amen. Thank you, Lord.
He's my Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 25. Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 25. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, that I do not practice. But what I hate, that I do. If then I do what I will not to do, I agree with the law that is good. But now it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, nothing good dwells. For to will is present with me, but how to perform what is good I do not find. For the good that I will to do, I do not do. But the evil I will not to do, that I practice. Now if I do what I will not to do, it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells in me. I find then the law that evil is present with me, the one who wills to do good. For I delight in the law of God, according to the inward man. But I see another law by its members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of God, but with the flesh, the law of sin. I want to use for a subject, the war inside of me. The war inside of me. When we look at the accounts of what is world history, it's been marked by conflicts, by wars, and by struggles. And it started with World War I. It started with 20 million people dead and some 21 million people wounded. Then in World War II, that lasted for 6 years and 1 day, as the Great Depression at the heart of it, with an estimated 70 to 85 million people perishing and passing away. Which there's another war and another struggle that has taken out more people in the world than World War I and World War II put together. And y'all, I'm not talking about World War III, but I'm talking about the war that's inside of us. Because at the end of the day, there's a struggle and a war going on in all of us. And it has killed more of us due to suicide, homicide, and every kind of worry, every kind of stress, and every kind of disappointment. And y'all, the church has been silent and quiet about this war and struggle. And even here this morning, there's a battle and a fight going on of everybody who was here. And that's why we should never make people our God and our idol, and put anybody so high that we can erase the presence and the authority of our human struggles. Because all of us are sitting here, and there's those of us who are struggling and stressed. And y'all, I don't need nobody to look around, because I'm really talking to you. Because this ain't for your neighbor. This ain't for the person beside you. Because for all of us in here, there's a war and a struggle going on in our hearts and in our spirits. And y'all, that's why in 1982, that the OJs told us that your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. Because the praise team has already sung. The piano has already vibrated and tapped. The drums have already been beaten and snared. The tambourine has already been shaken and been shook. Deacon Tate has already hit all the right notes. And some of y'all haven't moved a muscle. It's because you're sitting here with your body. And there's a war and a struggle going on in your mind. Because we know that we ought to praise God. But are we free enough to do it? We know that we ought to lift up holy hands. Because he's taking care of you all week, all month, all year, and all of your life. But are you free enough to worship him this morning? Because sitting in this house this morning are people who are at war and in a struggle. Because Paul says in verse 18, for I know that in me, that is in my flesh, that nothing good dwells. And y'all, the problem that we have is that we do all kinds of stuff with our flesh, Monday through Saturday. Then we try to dress it up on Sunday with church clothes and come to church. And we don't want to be here all the time. But I showed up as a carrier this morning to tell you that the enemy will not win, even if that enemy is in you. Because our God sits high and looks low, and he has the power in the palm of his hand. So if you don't have any secret struggles, if you don't have any buried battles, if you don't have any withheld wars, if you don't have any unseen sins, if you don't have anything that's opposing you, and everything is at peace in your life, then you can put your finger up right about now and tip out. Because I don't want to waste your time this morning. But if you watch it online, and you can say that every now and then that I'm my worst enemy. Every now and again, my struggles show up in my face. Every once in a blue moon, when I'm trying to stand, I fall on my face. Every now and again, I worry too much and worship too little. Every now and then, I panic too much and pray too little. Every now and then, I'm terrified too much and thank God too little. Every once in a while, the demons of my past get the best of me. And I'm still trying to press my way, pray my way, and do the right thing. But every time that I try to do the right thing, evil is right in my face. And y'all, I struggle sometimes. I get tired of struggle. I get tired of stress. I get tired of being talked about. I get tired of trying. I get tired of other people. And y'all, sometimes I get tired of myself. And is anybody here this morning who can agree with Paul when he says in verse 24, oh, wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? Because the same question that he poses in verse 24, he turns around, he responds to it in verse 25. And he says, I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. And y'all, I need to pull over early in this sermon. And I want to argue that without Jesus, that life is not worth living. And I want to say to you, if you don't have Jesus this morning, then you ought to leave and clock out. Because you can help people and they can turn on you. Do your best and they'll still fail. Move forward and you don't have anything to show for it. Just when you think you're healthy, the doctor comes back with a bad report. But y'all, I thank God this morning. Because there's something about the name Jesus that makes my dark spots all right. That makes my weakness strong again. And y'all, this sermon is not for anybody who has it all together. But this sermon is for somebody this morning who can say that I don't look like what I've been through. Because people think that I'm all right. But the truth is that I'm hurting on the inside. And I cry silent tears that nobody knows I cry. And people have the nerve to be jealous of me. And all I do is worry and stress. And I'm the one in my family that everybody is dependent on. So if I go to them and I tell them that I'm struggling, then everything and everybody is going to fall apart. And if this is for you this morning, God is getting ready to heal you from your hurts, and heal you from your addictions, and heal you from your stuff, and heal you from your past. Because this is not World War I. This is not World War II. But y'all, this is World War Me. And at the end of this struggle, victory is yours in the person of Jesus Christ. Because y'all, what's in the text is made to enlighten us. It's made to empower us. It is made to strengthen God's people. Because number one, if we're going to make it through our private battles and our personal confrontations, y'all, we have to be real and be honest about our struggles. Because we live in a generation of finger pointing and nosy people. And y'all, that's why social media is so popular and so accepted. Because we just want to know what's going on in somebody else's life. But I want to make an announcement this morning. And it's not for everybody, but this sermon is for you. Because the worst lie that we can tell ourselves is the lie about other people. And if you lie to yourself and say, that I don't have any struggles or any battles, then you are a bold-faced lie. Because the text that is written about Paul is coming with 16 personal pronouns. And all of them begin with I. And that's because Paul is trying to get us to understand that if nobody else knows what's in your closet, that you can't talk about or discuss, that he understands. But not only does he understand, but he's also under attack. Because anytime that we in a dark and an unhappy place, it's because there's some demonic forces that are at work against you. Because not only is God the light of the world, but he's also the absence of darkness. So if you've ever been in a gloomy or a dreary place, then that means that the devil is at work. If you've ever been in a dark, gloomy place, let me give you your first shout this morning. Because everything that the devil tried to do to make you fail, God decided to let you live on. And I need about 10 of y'all this morning who thought about giving up to thank God that you're still here. Because not only does Paul understand, and not only is Paul under attack, but Paul is undertaken, but he's still alive. Because our biggest enemy is not other people. So it's not your spouse or your boss. But y'all, our biggest enemy is us. Because at the end of the day, our personal struggles and our private wars are within us. Because we can know right and still do wrong. We can know better and still not do better. Because there's some good in the worst of us. And there's some bad in the best of us. But y'all, I argue this morning that there's something that makes all of us struggle and to be at war. So don't try to judge your neighbor, because they might not struggle like you struggle. Now, that's why I normally don't make out a list of sins. Because if you miss somebody's sin, everybody's going to be relieved that you didn't talk about theirs. So y'all, I normally don't make a list of sins. But this morning, I think I need to do it. So let me ask you a nosy and a personal question. And y'all, you can be silent if you want to. And you don't have to raise your hand. Because I don't want any of y'all to know what flavor somebody's Kool-Aid is. But I want to know because you struggle with this one. So let me try to guess. Because maybe you miss it. And ain't nothing like some good gossip to you. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Because you dislike how it sounds. So let me try to guess again. Because maybe you arrogant. And you think that you're better than everybody else. So pride has your heart. And you can't say I'm sorry. Can't say thank you. But maybe it's not pride or arrogance. But maybe it's jealousy. And every time that the Lord blesses somebody else, the reason that you can't shout for them is because you think that you should have been next. And God is still making you next. And y'all, if it's not jealousy, maybe it's bitterness. Because it's been 18 years and you still carry around that same hatred. Because at the end of the day, all of us have a struggle. Because your mama had a struggle. Your daddy had a struggle. Your pastor has a struggle. And y'all, I don't care how rich they are. Don't care how poor they are. Don't care what titles they have. Don't care how much their weed costs. Don't care where they shop. Because if you walk on 2 legs, welcome to the struggle. I'm looking for about 8 of y'all this morning who can be real and thank God for every bit of your struggle. Because I'm still fighting. I'm still pushing. And I'm still praying. So y'all let me throw this in for free while I'm trying to feed your soul. Because do you know why people don't come to church? Because they're tired of fake and phony church folk. Because religion is killing us. Because religion teaches us to put a cover up over all our struggles. So we come to church looking priestly, looking holy, carrying a big body. And always talking about we blessed and highly favored. But at the end of the day, we're hurting on the inside. And the Lord has said that until you reveal it, that he's not going to heal it. So now I recommend this morning that you be real with your struggles. Because Elijah struggled with depression. David struggled with Bathsheba. Noah struggled with alcohol. And that's how you know that people didn't inspire the Bible. Because their struggles are put out there for everybody to see. Because everybody in the Bible has a struggle. And the good news is that God doesn't leave you in your struggle by yourself. And y'all, I'm so tired of extra hope. Never made a mistake. Don't do what you do. Because you drink liquor and I drink wine. I'm so tired of church folk who look down at other people like you never committed a sin. I'm so tired of preachers and prophets and apostles who are so high that they no good below. I'm so tired of people who come to church but cannot worship, cannot praise God, but you're too proud to admit that you need the Lord. So I think we ought to take a pause real quick for everybody who has a struggle, everybody who's going through a war, to lift up your hand and say, Lord, I need you. And I need you in my soul. I need you in my heart. I need you in my mind. I need you in my walk. Because if I struggles of will in their life. And y'all, they affect everybody, and they do. Then we have to ask the question, then why does God allow it if he can stop it? Because if God sees us trying to do better, he can say, I'm not going to let you struggle no more, and I'm just going to set you free. But y'all, the Lord lets us struggle until we can't struggle no more, only to get to a place that we have to admit that without him, that we'll never make it. But with him, every day gets sweeter than the day before. And I need somebody in here, somebody online, who can look back over your life, look back over your struggles, all the things that God has delivered you from. And you know that every day gets sweeter and sweeter than the day before. But y'all, not only do we have to be real about our struggles, but we have to be resilient in the spirit. Because no real battle happens without a conflict. So to be a Christian is to say that I'm here for the conflict, and sometimes the conflict is simple. Because I know that I don't need to eat fried foods, because my cholesterol is elevated. But here you are in the line at Popeyes, talking about they moving too slow. So maybe it's the Lord trying to give you a chance to get out of that line. And sometimes the conflict is complicated. Because the Mega Millions is up to 200 million. The Powerball is up to 40 million. And I know that I need to pay my tithes. But I'm going to pray that the Lord lets me hit this lot. Because Paul says in verse 19, for the good that I will do, I do not do. So now these personal struggles and these private battles, they happen every day. Because if somebody says something about us, we got a trash bag full of dirt about them. But now we put ourselves in a position where we have to decide if it's going to be the Lord's way or if it's going to be the world's way. Because every time that something happens to us, there's decisions that need to be made. And those decisions have consequences. And the problem is that the old you and the new you are still living in the same house. And the old you likes your old ways, and the new you is trying the new ways. And the problem is that you feed the new you once a week on Sundays at 9 o'clock. And the old you gets fed all the other days of the week. And does anybody know what it's like for the old you to show up at the wrong time? Because the Lord needs the old you in you for two reasons. Because number one, so you will always know where you came from. And number two, that you will always thinking that you're not there no more. And I need about 10 of y'all this morning who can say that I may not be what I want to be, but I'm not what I used to be. So raise your hand in this house and tell the Lord thank you. Because when the world promotes change, they talk about willpower. But y'all, our struggles are not about willpower, but they're about God's power. Because willpower is self-pressed, self-pushed, and self-glorified. But God's power is a power like no other. Because willpower says if I want to stop drinking, then I don't go anywhere where alcohol is going to be. But y'all, with God's power, you can be sitting at a bar with every drink in the world, and the Lord will give you the spirit that says, I could, but I don't want to. So let me suggest to us this morning that when you wrestle with the old and the new, that we have to watch what comes out of our mouths. Because I believe that what we say and what we speak is what we'll see and what we'll envision. Because I argue that we ought to call ourselves what God says we are. Because what we say will come to pass. And that's why I propose in Mark chapter 5 that before the woman with the issue of blood even touched Jesus, that she got healed on her way to Jesus. Because the Bible says that she said to herself that if only I could touch the hem of his garment, then I shall be made well. Because sometimes we have to tell ourselves that I won't let this bind me anymore. Because I'm bigger than that. I'm stronger than that. And even when I struggle, I'm still moving forward. Because at the end of the day, I refuse to let the devil in hell get the best of me. And I don't have to settle for struggle when Jesus already paid for my freedom. Because not only does the text teach us that we have to be real about our struggles, and that we have to be resilient in our spirit. But y'all watch the last one, because we have to be ready to celebrate. Because everything that we struggle with on earth will be conquered and will be defeated. Because in a boxing match, even if it's a draw, somebody has to win, because they're going to have to fight again. Because in every struggle and in every war, there will always be a victor and a conqueror. So y'all on this Veterans Day Sunday, I thank God for the Air Force who aim high, fly, fight, and win. I thank God for the Navy who are forged by the sea. I thank God for the Army who are Army strong. I thank God for the Marines who are the few and the proud. I thank God for the Coast Guard who are born ready. But y'all, I just don't thank God for them. But verse 25 tells us that I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. But this is the motto for the Christian life. Because I thank God for Jesus Christ my Lord. Because his blood has already cleansed us. His cross has already freed us. His empty grave has already fixed the for us. And nobody can go back on our past to bring up the struggles he's already paid for. I'm coming to my close, y'all. But everybody who joins the military has to swear in by repeating the military oath of enlistment. And they have to say, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the uniform code of military justice. So God help me. But y'all, there's another oath of enlistment for all the people in God's army who can say, I believe that he hung. I believe that he died. And I believe that he rose again. Is there anybody here this morning who can take this oath that says, I believe in God? And I believe that a swearing in and a declaration to God's people is in order right now, because we hold these truths to be self-evident that if you are in Christ, that you are a new creature. All things are passed away, and behold, all new things are come. So lift up your head, all these gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty and battle. So y'all, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. So where comes my help? My help comes from the Lord. And y'all, I know that my Redeemer lives. And that all things work together for my good.